morning this morning of color. Let's enjoy this. How do you deal with conflict? How do you stand against immense pressure? Look at this gorgeous sky. It's red everywhere. Actually, it was brilliant red a few minutes ago, but my Facebook was jammed. And yesterday I did a live stream in German, yesterday evening, as always on Friday evening. And it went very well, but I could never get it to upload, and this morning it had disappeared. So I'm really sorry about that and apologize, and see how the Holy Spirit can give us a chance to do something today in German. God willing, to make up for this lack. So I want to make it good. So let's go for our walk. As you can see, it's quite windy. Very different to yesterday. Shabbat, so the fishermen are having their break. They won't have to deal with these waves today. We'll see that maybe a little closer up, down further. Yesterday morning we had an incredible view of Mt Hermon. But actually it got better during the day. As the sun became more intense, the shots of Mt Hermon were really amazing. The view of Mt Hermon glistening in the snow. Somebody told me yesterday they have a little dog called Phoebe. Or Phoebe, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. It's a Greek name, I think. And each time the dog sees Soter on the screen, the little dog Phoebe barks in the living room. I was fascinated that Soter has followers among her canine relatives. I'm tempted to do something a little bit different today. I just hope that the ground is dry enough. Sorry there if the plants got in your face. Try again. Do you like that? Maybe you don't like it, maybe it's scary. The lower grass is still quite wet, but the higher grass is no longer wetting my legs. So here you can see how the water is a little wild. lake, really. The Sea of Galilee. It's interesting how all the creatures have their seasons, and this is the season for the cormorant. January is when they're on the lake gobbling up the little fish. They just seem to be doing a survey at this hour of the morning, or maybe getting warming up. It could be their national convention, or maybe their international convention, because we're here between 3 continents: Europe, Asia, and Africa. I think we're in for a great sunrise this morning. The way the cloud is, it's not enough to block the sun, and yet it's abundant, so we'll have a lot of light. That's Jordan over there. And here's the Golan. I don't know what gets her to bite the waves. As they crash and burst. So let's keep going here and get the blood circulating. Mt Hermon is in view, but let's get a better view in another moment. You know, I was thinking let's try and go up a little bit here on Mount Arbel to do something just a little different and to get a little height so we can get a better take on Mt Hermon. So I'll show you the little route I take to get up to Mt Arbel. Keep an eye on the sun here. But I think the cloud amount will delay its emergence a little bit. This is a big water main that's taking salty water away from the lake and bringing it south of the lake. That's the explanation we've been given. And this is a little tomb here, a Muslim tomb. For a long time, Migdal Magdala was called Majdal, the Arabic version. And Migdal in Hebrew means a tower. And some sheikh was buried here. And then sometimes there's been a guy in there sleeping, maybe even now. So people, be careful crossing the road here, but the advantage is it's Shabbat, so there's not much traffic. It's a busy road. It's the main north-south road along the Jordan Valley, Route 90. So this is our entry point here, just hoping that this part will be dry enough for sure, and maybe more will be dry enough to walk along here. I take a shortcut up here. Let's check out the sky. That's where the sun should be. And the cloud is shielding it from us, but letting light come through. Got the right shoes on for this, people. So we have the beehives here. But nobody allergic there. Our favorite caves. It's been a while since we've been here, right? And this is dry enough. Oh, there's Mt Hermon, look. Even just to get this far is worth it for that sake. Look at the sun hitting Mt Hermon. The plastic covered fields to the right are Mount of Beatitudes. And then just go higher and a little bit to the left of the center, and you can see the sun shining on Mt Hermon. Actually, even at the end of our session yesterday, I got some very beautiful pictures. I'll have to show you. I think we're getting near to sunrise now. But let's get in on the path up here. Sometimes we've had sunrise strolls up at the top of that jut of rock. It's right there in the center of the screen, on the brow of the hill. There is Migdal. We have some Migdal participants who live in Migdal sometimes, and they're in Germany and other countries. Look at the way the sun is increasingly shining on Mount Hermon. That's Svat. And here we have Mount Hermon. That's marvelous, isn't it? Oh, I think there's sunrise coming. It should be very close now. Let's get in here. And this seems relatively dry. Damp, but dry enough for not too sticky walking. Let's go this direction just to have the right direction for sunrise. So the readings today are very strong. It's amazing in those first 3 chapters of Mark how dramatic developments are happening, how dramatically the developments are happening. There are major miracle cures, the paralytic and so forth that was dropped down through the roof. And then we have the forgiveness of sins, that Jesus says your sins are forgiven, which was an earthquake theologically for the listeners who were critical. And what we see is the major drama of mounting criticism. And it's coming from every quarter. It's really amazing. And today it's coming from his family. The word is circulating, and we see such opposite reactions. We see all the people coming from all over, and then certain small pockets of leadership people, the demons, and some family members launching an all-out assault. And the words in the gospel are that he is out of his mind. So the mystery of you see, this is all mucky, all wet. So I just have to watch for these spots that aren't dried up yet. Oh, there's the sun now for sure. Let's stop here for a second. It's nice to catch this first moment of the sun. Okay, that's maximum zoom. And look at the sun hitting Mount Hermon now. There you have it in the center of the screen. Oh no, it was not maximum zoom. That's maximum zoom. See the sun shining on Mount Hermon. Doesn't that warm your heart in this chilly morning? The camera isn't really picking it up, but I'm actually seeing direct bright sun at me here. There's probably a little cloud in front of it. Just got news that a companion of ours, a confrere from Iowa, priest down in Mexico, Father Joseph, has gone to see the sunrise this past night in heaven. He had a very severe case of coronavirus, and know him since before he joined our community. So he's gone to see the sunrise. First time I met him was in the mid-80s, out near Dubuque, I think it was in Dubuque. And then he joined that summer. Born maybe in the late 60s. He spent all his ministry in Mexico as far as I remember. So may the Lord have him in his eternal glory, in the eternal rest. Enter into your master's rest, you good and faithful servant. The rest, the Shabbat. When we stop all the activity, realize that we are above work, in the sense that work is not our meaning. Work is an activity we're called to do, a mission we're called to accomplish, a service to provide. But our meaning is much higher. We're made for incredible light, for glory, for total union with God. And work is just part of the path. So Shabbat is a great reminder of that every Shabbat. So there we have our lovely Mt Hermon. There's such a contrast, between the two readings today. It's amazing. And the letter to the Hebrews is really progressing and capturing the core and essence of the whole priestly call of Jesus, articulating it in those terms of the high priest bringing the ultimate sacrifice in the new covenant for our reconciliation. It's a very matured understanding of Jesus and how it stands in such contrast to his family members who were so close to him in the incarnation, growing up with him in Nazareth, playing, working together, telling jokes together, spending time together, doing Shabbat together. And he didn't stand out. He was just hidden from their eyes. And now they're just not able to deal with this mystery that's unfolding before their eyes. They want to control it. He's out of his mind, according to them. He's just not the Jesus they knew. Something very strange is happening, something beyond their wildest imagination, something crazy, becoming the magnetic point of the whole region. And as we look back today, 2,000 years later, he's really the magnetic point of all of history. And the waves crash on Jesus. Different waves of trying to destroy him, to take him out. And even within his own community, we Christians have had such battles over Jesus. What a mystery, the person of Christ. Let's read those words of his relatives. Jesus came with his disciples into the house. Again, the crowd gathered, making it impossible for them even to eat. We talked about that the other day. A frequent experience of theirs. When his relatives heard of this, they set out to seize him, take him by force, bring him under their control, take away the embarrassment for the family. For they said, he is out of his mind. And then contrast that with, let's do first of all these verses of the Psalm, which are from 47, and the first generation of Jesus' disciples saw that these verses were speaking about him. God mounts his throne to shouts of joy, a blare of trumpets for the Lord. And the mounting the throne is into the heavens, beyond the cosmos, to the eternal throne of glory of the Creator. And then that's the backdrop really for all this theology that's developed in the letter to the Hebrews of Jesus passing into the perfect tabernacle, not made by hands, into the tabernacle of the Trinity really, and bringing the ultimate sacrifice. You know, it's a big sacrifice to donate something from our flock, to donate the fleece of wool. Back in the 1960s, when I was a little boy, my first job at the shearing of the sheep was to weigh the fleeces of wool and get the heaviest one, the best one we gave to the Franciscan missionary. It was a sacrifice. And it was more than the wool, it was the love that my parents exemplified for us and trained us to grow up in, and to have the joy then of handing that over to the Franciscan who came around to visit all the farmers for their offering for the Franciscan community in Ennis in County Clare. And you know, you could take an animal here from the herd. Oh, I actually see, I think, deer. There's a whole flock of deer here on the hill. Look at that. And let's say you're a hunter and you, yeah, they're moving. There are deer out there, people. Look at that. Look at the deer on Mount Arbel. 2, 4, 5, 6, 8. There's a whole flock of them there. Hey, we're very lucky. One day we saw the pigs here, and now we have the deer. A whole family of deer with the little white tails. Like a deer longing for the running water. And they're such sensitive creatures and so scared of us. And imagine a hunter gets 1 or 2 deer, you know, to feed the family for a few months, and gives half of it to the temple. The sacrifice isn't the flesh or the blood of the animal, it's really that giving something that's precious to the human being as an expression of worship to God. The harvest of grain, and to give a tenth of that is a big sacrifice. You know, the tithing. And so these sacrifices were a remaking, an amendment for the sins, to repair the loving trust and contrition, to express the contrition, to bring back the hearts of the family to God, a reconciliation, sacrifices of reconciliation. Let's go back up to see the deer again. It's good I didn't move too fast, because standing here, then they figured I was going to stay far away enough and not bother them. They should be in the center of the screen now. Let's zero in there. Look at them. There are the deer again. That's maximum zoom. So then the superior sacrifice of Christ, because it's not a lamb he's given, it's not a bag of grain, it's not a bull, it's his own sacrifice. Thy will be done. Take away this chalice from me, not my will. I will drink it to the end. And the opposition is starting early in his public life. And we leave the deer now, people, to go back to the sunrise. Just take your last shot at the deer there. Your last glance at them. They're going to keep moving and they're going into a more shaded area, so it's going to be harder to spot them. That's Tiberias there on the brow of the hill, for those who need a reminder. And now Mt Hermon is even clearer still. So let's swing around to Mt Hermon. See the sun hitting the snow there on Mt Hermon. It's a pity there was a little report on Israeli television there, just like here at Magdala. You know, we're empty and the slopes would be teeming with people now. We're at normal times, but because of the lockdown, nobody's able to go to ski. So we can offer that up as a sacrifice as well. That suffering there is Magdala, completely empty. And the Sea of Galilee Hotel, completely empty. And right now we'd be both full if we had normal conditions. Last year we were completely filled. So I think I've gone over time, or about to be gone over time again. So then the extraordinary nature of Jesus' ultimate sacrifice of his own very self, not a bag of grain, not a fleece of wool, not an animal. He gave himself. A little bit like Abraham's Isaac, which didn't have to be completed. And St. Paul says, and he did not spare his only son. And with this sacrifice that's done for the forgiveness of sins, that's providing the blood of the new covenant, this is Jesus. And yet his family can't see it. And they say no. We just don't agree. He's out of his mind. Sometimes that happens in families today. When their child wants to become a priest or a sister or consecrate their lives, the family reacts very strongly against it. He's out of his mind. I remember one lady in Germany, God bless her, and she said, but he's intelligent. He should become an engineer. And I said, thank you, ma'am, for the compliment. I became a priest. I think I still see one more deer up there of all the whole family we saw before. Yeah. Do you see the movement in the center of the screen? I think. Or are my eyes deceiving me? I'm pretty sure there's a deer there at that bush. Yes, there's movement up there. So people, will say goodbye. It was wonderful being with you today. God bless you. See you later, alligators. This is a wonderful place. Looking forward to the pilgrims coming back when the Lord will allow that to happen. God bless you.